them up, especially big ones. Oh
yeah. I saw the light, sunrise sitting back in the 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of a fin-found Dixie whistle in the wind that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country.
Ryan Ray with Ray Outdoors, and I've been getting a lot of requests lately from some guys how I make my canine sets, what's your go-to set, and so today I decided I'm gonna take a video. There's a million sets you can use to catch coyotes, fox. My most common set, and probably most everybody who traps, most common that they have success with, is a Dirthole, just a plain old Dirthole set for canines. And thing about trapping is that every video you watch on making a Dirthole set, everybody's going to do it different. And when you watch this, hopefully you can pick up some things that you can try for yourself and get your own spin on it and to see if it works for you. So I'm going to go ahead and put a set in and show you guys what I do. I'm going to go ahead and put this Dirthole set in. This is a levee. There's a drainage ditch on this side and a pond or swamp marsh on this side. And I've caught canines out of here in the past. If you can see behind me here, there's a pronounced game trail that runs all the way down this levee. There's a couple of them, but deer use them. Obviously, it's probably the heaviest traffic, but coyotes, fox, coons, everything will use those same trails. So what I like to do is I like to set a little bit off the trail, just so I have less chance of a deer stepping in my set. It happens. They set the trap off, no big deal, just reset. But I set a few feet off of it, and this is the location I picked here. I like something with good backing. Big nice clump of grass right off this trail that comes through here. And I'm going to go ahead and put my set in right here. So I'm going to get the camera set up and I'll start putting the set in for you guys. So once you get your location picked, first thing I like to do, I get my gloves on, and then I get everything out of where I'm going to put my trap at. There's all this loose grass, stuff like that, and I pile that back behind that I'm going to use for backing here. Just going to add to that. Then take my tool I use for my dirt holes. You can use a dirt hole punch, you can use an auger, whatever you want to use. I use this, about 8 to 10 inches long. I take it and I put it where I want my hole. Shove it down in there at an angle. And then I just ream it out like that. Nice deep flashy hole there. Once you get your hole, then take my sifter. I use this to collect all the dirt that I pull out of here. Trap and hammer, and I'm going to go ahead and dig my trap bed. Now, when I put my traps in, I like to put them close to the hole as possible, dead center. Some guys go offset right, back a little bit, whatever. I have good luck with putting it right up on the hole. That way, that hole is guarded, so if anything wants to come in there and get that bait or that lure, it's got to come up and get on that trap before it gets in there. So now, just dig you a trap bed. Depending on the size trap you use, or what trap you use, that will depend on the size of your bed you make. Take all that dirt out of there that you pull out. I put that in my sifter, so I'll use that later. Don't have to go crazy. Just where your trap will fit in there underground nicely. Straighten the edges a little bit. Nice and packed down in there. And then, depending on what trap you're using, like I said, I use MB550 offset. These are brand new from this year. I just painted them or dipped them. I waxed them, haven't even been put in the ground yet. And I use wolf fang anchors, cable stakes, and these seem to work great for me, but you can use pogos, you can use Berkshires, cross stake with rebar, super stakes, whatever you want to do. Then I take my driver, make sure I got no dirt in the sides here, and then I just take that, put it on my anchor. I dead center this in the middle of the bed, start it by hand, and then drive it home. I like to go all the way down until I get this swivel in the dirt. Like that. Then pull your driver out. And I always, a lot of guys recommend do this too. Once you get that anchor in there, go ahead and pull up. And that sets it. That way, that ain't coming out of the ground. Go ahead and kind of pack that hole a little bit with some of the dirt in there. Then I bed my traps in peat moss, so take a little bit of peat, dump it in the bottom. A lot of times too, I'll take this swivel, and so it's not sticking up in the middle of your bed, giving you trouble when you're trying to bed it down. I just lay it flat. I'll hammer that into the bottom of my bed, so it's out of the way. Peat moss in there, and then since it's getting cold, we've had some freeze thaw with some rain. I use flake antifreeze. This is a different style. It's not actually the flakes, it's more of a granular. It's not table salt. You can use that, but you have to be careful, it'll rust your traps up real quick. Dump a little bit of that in there. That'll keep underneath your trap from freezing. Get it patted down a little bit. And then this is one of the most important parts about trapping, is making sure that trap is bedded solid. I might have to set this off first because I didn't clean the wax off the... Oh, there it goes. Okay, so there's the night latch. Pan's nice and flat, even with the jaws. Go ahead and take that trap. You want to set it in there in the bed, rock it back and forth, get it nice and snug in there. What I do is I just take a lot of the stuff from the sides and I pack that down around the jaws. And you want to make sure that this trap does not move, because canine comes up, steps in your set, feels something move under his feet, he's going to dig. Most of the time you'll find your traps flipped up and not set off, or sometimes set off, and you got a smart canine then. So you want to make sure that thing is solid. You don't want to have any moving, not moving at all, no play, all the way around. Then I use fiberglass mesh pan covers. A lot of guys don't use pan covers. They use underalls under the pan, polyfill, landscape fabric, wax paper, whatever you want to do. I use these. They work good for me. Pre-cut. Just lay it right on top there. Now I'm going to take some more peat moss. Go ahead and put that around the jaws like that. All the way around. And some on top. And then now take your hands in a diamond shape like this, so the pan's in the middle. You're not going to set that trap off. You want to take this and put pressure down. Just press all the way around. Make sure that thing is solid and ain't going to move on you. All the way around like that. You can use your whisk broom for this if you want. If you want to, not comfortable using your knuckles, whatever. Get it nice and solid in there. And then what I like to do also is I put a little bit more antifreeze on there, just in case it rains, it will not freeze up on you. So now once you got that bedded trap solid, covered up, then I take the dirt that I already pulled out and go ahead and start sifting that back over. Like that. And I'll kind of take this hole, or entrance to the hole, and kind of mash that out a little bit so it looks like it comes right into the trap bed here. Anything out of the way, the root sticking up. Kind of mash that down a little bit. Back up a little bit here. Just keep sifting dirt over top. Like this. ain't got to overthink it, guys. It's pretty simple once you get them down. You do this a bunch of times, you'll be banging these out in no time. I'm doing it a lot slower than I usually do because trying to get it where you guys can see it anyway. So once you get that all nice and covered, you want it to appear like something was here digging the fresh dirt out with eye appeal. They're going to come in and check it out. Just finish sifting the rest of that little bit of dirt on there. Some guys like to blend their dirt holes in. That's fine too. I do that once in a while. Cut up the grass and cover it. Looks like nothing was even there, just the smell in the hole. But I like them flashy like this. This is how I usually leave them. Take the extra dirt, put it back there behind the backing. And basically the set's almost done now. So now you just got to pick out your choice of bait, lure, urine combo, whatever you want to use. Any, combination of those three or whatever. My preference, what I use the most in my dirt holes is Van Meter and Son Musk canine bait. It's worked good for me. There's a bunch of good lure makers out there. Use what you want. And what I use, I keep a bunch of these popsicle sticks in my bag. That way you can just don't get your hands dirty. You don't have to get down in the jar or whatever. Get you a nice glob of bait on there, like that. You don't want to overdo it, but you don't want to use too little. Take that, shove it right down your dirt hole. Stuff it down deep, so they gotta work for it to get in there. A lot of times I'll just take the popsicle stick, leave it in the hole, shove it down on top of bait. And then for lure, I like to use a lot. I use this Ridgetop Red. It's by Van Meter and Son also. Good stuff, real foxy, scented, and a lot of fox glands, stuff like that in here. Take a little bit in the dripper there, and I just apply that right on the back of the hole. Just, you don't have to put a lot, because this stuff little goes a long way. A little bit like that. A little bit on the grass there. Just on the lip of that hole like that. And then, just to top it off, I like to throw some, depending on what set I'm doing or whatever, I'll put some fox urine on the backing. Just take that, squirt it on the backing like that, like something marked to set. And that's it, guys. Canine set, ready to rock, ready to catch you a fox or a coyote, or coon or possum, which happens too. But you just got to get out there, guys, and get some steel in the ground. Learn from your mistakes, trial and error. Like I said, don't overthink it. Just keep it simple. Like I said, get some sets in the ground, and you will catch something with this simple dirt hole set. So hopefully this helps some of you guys and encourages you a little bit to get out there and put some sets in the ground. And if you do, good luck, tight chains. If you watch this video, it helped you, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks a lot, guys. Good luck. Oh, you know what? Here's a quick what it looks like afterwards. So there's the set there. Alright, some of my stuff is shadowy in here, but that's what the set looks like when I'm done. Just like that.